All right, in this video, I'm going over the test review questions for the summer of the Swans. Okay, number one. Ooh, and I found an error. Good thing How does Sarah feel about Charlie? And how did this help Sarah to find him? Use examples from the text to support your answer. Well, she obviously loves and cares deeply about Charlie. I'm going to go through and find some evidence, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so some evidence about how she feels about Charlie is on page 623, that first paragraph, when she's calling out for him. It talks about how she's near tears. So obviously, if she's looking for him and she's near tears looking for him, she must care deeply about him. And of course, caring deeply about him is going to help her find him because she cares so deeply, she's not going to give up. Okay. And again, we know she cares deeply about him because while she's looking for him, she is calling out his name and she's near tears during the search. Okay, number two, sometimes a setting can influence the problem a character faces and how it is resolved. Other times, the setting has very little effect on how or why something happens. Describe the setting of this story. How does it affect Sarah's search for Charlie? So you need to describe the setting. Don't just say it's in a forest. So describe it. They are in a forested area with a valley down below, a small town down below in the valley, but the forest is hilly. There's lots of hills. It talks about Sarah needing to climb up the hill on page 621. So there's a lot of rough terrain. You want to include these details when you're describing the setting. Okay? If you just say it's a forest, that isn't elaborating enough. That isn't giving me enough detail, okay, to get full credit. And then how does it affect Sarah's search for Charlie? Well, it obviously makes the search much more challenging. If the setting of this story was in a very flat, open area, then obviously finding Charlie would be much easier. But because there's all these hills, all these trees, it's a very small town, there's less people to look for Charlie, and there's more places that Charlie could be where you wouldn't be able to easily see him. So the setting greatly affects Sarah's search for Charlie. Again, if the setting was in a wide open field, much easier. Wouldn't really be a story, right? She'd wake up, look out across the field, and oh, there's Charlie laying. She thinks she sees Charlie laying on the ground, and she runs out to him. Very short story. But because we're in this heavily wooded area with a valley, and there's hills, and there's only a small town, so fewer people to look for him, there's more places Charlie could end up and not be seen. Number three, as Sarah searches for her brother, she thinks about the many feelings she has experienced during the summer. Describe how Sarah's character changes during the story. So explain that, and then use examples from your text to support your answer. I'm going to go through and look for examples now. Okay, so we see on page 624 some evidence of Sarah's character changing. The very first paragraph on page 624 describes how she, over the summer, had cried about her big feet, her skinny legs, the way her nose looks. She says, I even cried over my stupid shoes. So she realizes at this point in the story that she's been very superficial all summer long, that, those things really don't matter, that family matters, her brother matters, the big things in life matter. So she's starting to realize, hey, I wasted all this time worrying about things that don't really matter anyways. So this is the sign of her growth as a character, where she starts to find perspective. Okay. She realizes, hey, it seems like a big deal at the time that, oh, I don't like the way my hair looks, or I don't like the way my legs look. But she realizes at this moment, when she has a real problem, that those things really don't matter. And so that's an example from the text where Sarah's character is changing and she's realizing what's important in life. Okay. All right. Thanks again for watching. Make sure you cite your evidence to get full credit on your questions. And again, give me full details. You have the book, you have the time to explain your answers, and then you can use these on the test tomorrow. All right. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.